Okay, this starts our discussion on Chapter 15 where we talk about adaptive and specific immunity and immunization. Now, adaptive immunity is acquired immunity, and this is our third line of defense. And this is what's responsible for long-term protection that we get from having infections or from vaccinations. And it's a dual system that's a product of the B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. This is a figure of specific immune responses, or how the lymphocyte system develops. First, over here on the left is the T cell line, and we've got these in the center. There are lymphocytes, and we have our stem cells there. And both the T cells and the B cells originate from these stem cells. And then they differentiate into either T cells that mature in the thymus and then migrate to the lymph nodes, or into B cells that mature in special bone marrow sites and then migrate to the lymph nodes. Now, immunocompetence, this is the ability of the body to interact with a wide spectrum of foreign substances, and this begins during fetal development and it doesn't end until late puberty. What are antigens? These are molecules that stimulate a response by a T cell or a B cell. And it's a protein, a polysaccharide, and other compounds from cells and viruses. And environmental chemicals can also be antigens, like when you're dealing with an allergy. The adaptive line of defense has two features that characterize specific immunity. First is specificity. The antibodies are produced and they function only against the antigen they were produced in response to. For instance, chickenpox virus antibodies don't respond to the measles virus, only to the chickenpox virus. And then memory. The lymphocytes are programmed to recall their first encounter with the antigen, and if there's another encounter, they're supposed to respond more rapidly to that. So when we look at an overview of all these specific immune responses, up here in the top, in the blue, we have foreign cells that can have antigens and that are recognized and engulfed by these antigen presenting cells, and then they activate B cells and other T cells. So that's what you see happening here. These antigens are presented and recognized by this dendritic cell, and then that activates the B cells and other T cells. And down here at the bottom, on this side on the left, you have these activated T cells that form memory cells. And those memory cells then differentiate into helper cells or cytotoxic cells. And a cytotoxic cell can put some kind of chemical on it that will destroy it. Over on the right in the yellow, the B cell gets activated by the T helper cell, and when it's activated, it causes a spurt of cell division, and that produces memory cells and plasma cells that will secrete antibodies.